Outsiders, Bad Obsessive Chris here with a little update, just letting you know some of these episodes we released this month were recorded in the past, so if things seem a little confusing, that's why. It's a little flashpoint for you. The other reminder is that our Patreon is currently going. It is part of our efforts to make the show more regular. If you're enjoying getting episodes this frequently during Pride Month and would like to see that happen going forward, it would really help us. Any amount you can give to Patreon would make a big difference in our ability to pay editors instead of relying on TJ and I's super overworked schedules to get them done. And also because we want to do some improvements to the show. Who knows what we could do? So I hope that you check out our Patreon. What you will get for $4 a month, you will get access to our special episodes right now. You can listen to Mark and I reviewing the first 3 episodes of Gotham. You might want to join in because we're going to go through the entire show and then maybe Pennyworth after that. We have a lot of ideas too, some other specials that'll be dropping soon. It's a great time to jump on board and we appreciate any amount. I wanted to also say thank you to our current subscribers. You all make the world turn over here at Go and we adore you. All right, enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the Gotham Outsiders, our Batman book club. I am Bad Obsessive Chris, and with me, for the first time by his new title, is Bat Talon TJ.
Hello, everyone. I am your Chris proclaimed Batman Talon.
Woo!
I remembered, and we have a special guest with us.
That's right. We had a special mission and we have bombs in our heads. So we had to bring in yet another member of our perilous crew, our very own Suicide Squad member, Mark Perez.
Hello. Also known as Batmite.
Yes, also our Batmite. Our Suicide Squad includes Batmite. We're a great Suicide Squad.
Exactly. Yeah, the bomb in his head is almost as big as his own head. So
yes. Mark is currently co-hosting on Shooting the Poodoo with the Baraxum on Sunday nights. Can you tell us a bit about that, Mark?
So, obviously we love our Star Wars, hence the name Baraxium, because it's a play on Coaxium from Solo. But
love
it. There's a lot of other shows associated with it. But what we do on Sunday nights, we'll cover anything Star Wars going on that week, but along with whatever other pop culture goodness that's out there, So and it's a fantastic crew. We got Daniel, we got Mike, we got Claire, we got Raven, and every once in a while Chris Rhines will pop on there too. But yeah, it's a good crew to hang with on Sunday night to kind of unwind before you get ready for the work week. So,
I love it. I love it.
I love that you don't limit yourself to what you can talk about. That's like we started a Batman podcast, but now we're here talking about the Suicide Squad.
Batman makes an appearance.
Again, what you guys did in
cameo.
a short amount of time at the beginning to like all these guests and everything. I'm like, how did that happen? Like all of a sudden, it just like you guys.
Tenacity's how.
Good.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, kudos to you folks. That's all I gotta
Thank
say.
you.
You're welcome.
We've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, we're excited to have you.
We are
Mark,
currently in the midst.
Thank you. I'm excited to be back.
Yes, we are currently in the midst of our Pride recording, so we have a lot of fun returning and new people on this month. So we got to be as gay as possible during this month.
Woo woo. So yeah, that's why you're here, Mark.
Yes,
this is Mark's first book club episode.
Yeah,
so that's exciting.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, very exciting. Well, we on our book club episodes, we always start with a game, and I had created a game. However, TJ decided to guess what it was, and his guess was better than the game I created. So so I have About Coursed. This game is officially created by TJ for the first time on our show. Hey.
Being a Talon comes with some perks.
Yeah, he's leveled up. He's got his resurrected powers of the Court of Owls, and now he's got moves.
Well, halfway through this book, I was like, it's got to be this game. I was like, Chris, I know what you're gonna do. I just know.
I think
Chris
he said
was
it,
like,
and I was
tell
like,
me.
I was panicking. I was like, what if what he tells me is better? And then it was, and I was like, well, fuck that old game. We're playing this.
So what is our game?
So TJ came up with the idea that we would do a game where you both have to create your own Suicide Squad. The only rules that I'm adding are you cannot use any of the members of the Suicide Squad we read in this book. You got to go outside.
Well, at least most of them are like original to this book.
I was gonna say I will give you all Harley, because what is Suicide Squad without Harley? If you want her, you can have her.
Like the anchor. She is the anchor with all the pretty colors on it.
Yes,
that's fair.
She is our pride queen, and she can be on your team.
So basically,
that's a give me. She's a free space.
We're forming a team around Harley Quinn.
Absolutely, you both can form a team around Harley Quinn. I will award points to the team that is the best at the end.
Can we alternate? And what's our number? Where can we stop at what? How many?
See, Suicide Squads are kind of big. How many are even in this book? I don't even know. I'll say 9. like 9 is good. I was gonna say 7 to 9. You can stop around then. It's up to you both.
Stop wherever we're feeling.
So yeah, you can alternate picking. It's up to you how this goes about.
So Harley Quinn's first.
Harley Quinn's a free space. If this is a bingo card, she's the free space.
Okay. So Harley Quinn, she has to be there.
She's required.
She's definitely going to be wearing her outfit from at the end of this book.
She looks so good.
Oh, the fact that she was only in it for one scene was like.
But it was it was a full panel like pinup almost, and I was like,
yeah, it was beautiful.
Queen.
I would pick. I don't know. I know, Chris, you're familiar with this character. I don't think you've read this story yet. There's. In the Assault on Krypton and Lazarus Planet, C.S. Pacat created John Kent Superman's like Catwoman frenemy love interest. And his name is Ash, and he has like fire, pyrokinetic powers.
Yes.
And he's a thief. I want to pick him just because I really like him, and he's gay.
That is a really good choice. That is a really good choice. Mark, what are you bringing to the table?
Let's see. I want to. Ooh, can we throw Bizarro in there?
Hell yeah.
Going big.
Let's do Bizarro. I think he would be great in this. And I'm trying to think of anyone else that pops into my head.
Can we not pick the ones that like Mark can't pick Ash? I can't.
Yeah. I like that. Yes, you have to pick different people.
Make it a little harder.
So
Mark has Quinn, Bizarro. I'm gonna go real fan servicey here and pick Poison Ivy.
I don't know if she's ever been Suicide Squad. I kind of like that.
Like imagine them as the couple going
Carl
through
Ivy
it.
as the moms of the team. I like it.
Yeah. Was it? Oh, trying to think. What is the name of the character? I want to say, is it Talia, the one who's related to Rachagul?
Talia.
Talia. Sorry. Talia, I think would be cool.
Talia.
A cool addition to this. So
she would be good.
I like that. I would love to see it. Waller. I'm assuming it would be Waller, or maybe it would be Locke. Either one of them attempt to tell Talia what to do. Woo.
Right. How do you strong arm that person? I mean,
right. They're like, we will blow you up, and she's like, pull the trigger, bitch, pull it. You think I can't come back from the dead? Do it. Test me.
Can Amanda Waller be on the Suicide Squad?
You want to wait?
Can you imagine?
Has that been done before? It might.
I don't think so.
It sounds so good that like, how could it not have? I'm gonna steal that idea.
I was gonna say I'm checking it right now, but I honestly don't know.
So I might have to put Amanda. I don't know how she would fit in the group with like Ash and Poison Ivy and Quinn, but like
she would be annoyed. Is the answer?
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know what she would. I guess she'd be like the strategist, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna put Amanda Waller on there.
That's fun. So in this scenario, she's like accused of a crime or something like that, is what we're saying. Like
like maybe she's exposed for everything she's done, and they're like, irony, you can go on the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, this is how you're going to pay back for what you've done. It's like, it's
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, you have to do. It's like when the Hunger Games tried to make all the people that did the Hunger Games play.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like maybe they expect her to die right away, but somehow she just keeps surviving.
She doesn't die. I like it. That's a sexy team so far.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
About that, Mark.
Well, since I mentioned it jokingly earlier, but how about Professor Zoom?
Ooh. Yikes.
I mean, he already came up in conversation. I was like, wait a minute.
I like that. That's good.
God, these are good.
I'm gonna pick from the recent Damian Wayne Robin series. They introduced his sort of will they won't they love interest, who is
Yes.
Flatline, I think is her name.
Flatline.
She could be fun.
That is
She could be fun.
I do like.
I
like
like
both
Flatline.
these teams.
I'm just
are
trying to think
good.
of all of the like morally gray characters that I've been enjoying.
Right, exactly. Flatline is funny because Flatline, when I kept seeing her, now that I think about it, she reminded me of like a younger version of Marin from the Jedi Fallen Order game series.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Totally, like she reminded me of her. I was like, now that I think about it, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you read the tie-in novel for the new Star Wars game?
No, I did not. I
No?
really should go look at the synopsis because I don't know anything about it though.
Yeah.
I've been very, very picky about the Star Wars books that I read because
That's fair.
You know I love Star Wars, but
Oh, I know.
when
That
you
one,
had me
shout out Sam Mags,
read-
because
Right,
he was
for
here
real.
too.
when you read all these tie-ins for Rise of Skywalker and none of it ends up mattering in the end, I was not
Mhm.
happy. I was like, I didn't have to read all that. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
no,
fun. Some of it was great.
I
but
think
I'm
that
like,
one's probably skippable too, so I don't think
Yeah.
you're missing anything.
So
but-
I
but
was
it's
not
very gay.
amused.
So
But there's
Yeah.
some there's other cool books out there, so I'm not saying it's all of them, but I'm much more picky about the books that I do select to read
Yeah.
at this.
no, that makes sense.
Very fun.
Okay, so I picked Flatline. I'm up to Harley Quinn, Poison
4.
Ivy,
Well, you-
Ash,
yeah,
and
5 with Harley
Flatline,
Quinn. Yeah.
and Amanda Waller. Okay,
Mark has
so
3
5.
so far.
I'm just trying to think of who else I would throw into the mix.
I'm just trying to think of the books I'm reading. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, what books am I reading, and what villains are in them? Hmm.
Let's see. Do.
Oh,
I
I have another.
Oh yeah. What do you got?
Gosh, I forget their name. It's the non-binary teleporter from the Blue Beetle Graduation Day book.
Oh my god. Oh my
It's
god.
like
Yes.
it's like something like I can't think. It's like a clothing material name, I think, is their
Mhm.
title. But anyway, that character. Are you looking it up for me?
I'm looking it up for you.
Thank you. I just like them. I think they'd be good.
Mhm.
Oh, has Constantine been part of this in some way or another?
Ooh, I don't
Because
know.
I would
Maybe,
love
but
to.
that would work.
Let's throw him in.
Constantine is
one.
good. Oh my god.
Yeah, I thought about it earlier and I couldn't even, for some reason it just totally like left my brain. But yes,
That's a good one.
and Red Hood.
Yeah, he was in. They did some Black Label book recently with him, like hunting down the Joker and it was actually interesting.
Okay.
Cool, that was a good one. I wish I thought of that.
Lobo.
Ooh, Lobo's
yeah.
Let's
good.
do Lobo. Okay.
Are our teams gonna fight? I feel like they need to fight.
They totally would
And they
fight.
totally do. Absolutely. Well, you should put like, Jason Momoa Aquaman so you can fight with Lobo. So it'll look like they're fighting Quinn.
I love that. That's cute.
Hey, I gotta go really basic. I'm looking at the Batman villains in my mind. I'm gonna pick Punchline because the
Punchline's
drama
good, though.
between. Oh, I feel like I already have Harley Quinn, but like the drama between Harley and Punchline having to work together,
I love
Mhm.
it.
and
I
just
feel
Harley
like I would love to see Harley following around Punchline and trying to convince her to leave Joker. She's like, girl, like, girl, you don't know.
yeah, that'd be good. Just Poison Ivy's like supporting Harley, and Harley's venting.
Mhm. Harley is like, who would be this dumb? And Poison Ivy just pointedly looks at her for a very long time. And she's like, other than me.
So I think that puts me at 7. I have 6 women, 1
And Ash,
non-binary
and
person,
a gay.
and Ash.
Yeah. Oh, Huntress.
Ooh, Huntress. That's good. Oh, I like that.
Did you ever find the name of the?
No, I can't find it because it's just showing me the name of the main villain from Graduation Day.
I was
trying to
telling
figure it
Jadzia
out.
Axelrod about this character a few days
I
ago.
remember, and
It's
it
in our
was
group
great.
chat somewhere, but it's probably buried. I had to go back and look at the issue because I couldn't find it.
I know.
online. But anyway, Josh Trujillo, we like that character. I'm
We
sorry I
love-
can't remember their
We
name.
love them.
Yeah.
They are a absolute monarch, but I cannot find them. All right, do you two? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So Mark, you have 7. Are you happy with that team?
I think I'm good. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
TJ, you gonna add one more? Or are you good with your team?
I thought I was at 7. I have
1, 2, 3,
let's
4.
see, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Ash, Amanda Waller, Flatline,
Punchline.
Punchline, and then Teleporter NB.
Oh, right. That's because I never found the name.
Right. Sorry.
Okay. So
So 7 and 7.
the finalized teams are Ash from the John Kent Superman, Poison Ivy and Harley, Amanda Waller Flatline, Punchline, and Teleporter NB.
Sorry.
Unnamed Teleporter NB. Mark's team is Bizarro, Talia, Professor Zoom, Constantine, Harley, Lobo, and Huntress. These are so good. I would like, oh my God, they're really good. I'm going to award posts to both of you because I refuse
Oh,
to
cool.
decide.
Yay.
I got to say, as you were doing it, I made my own team because then I got excited. So
Nice.
my team would be, since you brought Lobo, I brought Crush,
Okay.
Red Hood and his boyfriend Arsenal,
cool.
Ghostmaker, Kite Man, and
Nice. Okay.
I thought about Ghostmaker, but I was like, let me go
I
Punchline instead.
Harley. Bizarrely shocked you didn't put, when you said this is basic, I was like, Ghostmaker.
It totally escaped my brain too. It's
I love
funny.
him.
I read
I
about.
love
I
him.
was reading about him not that long ago, and I totally just.
We gotta love a bisexual, chaotic gremlin.
In my mind, I was like, I can only have one Tynan creation, so I
Oh.
went for Punchline.
I don't know. Maybe Tynan's writing this Suicide Squad. I don't know.
Yeah, he could bring both.
Oh my God, that I'm adding Harper to it. I don't know how she gets in trouble, but she does, and she's on my team now.
Okay.
I've just drafted her too. All right. So that was beautiful. And our Suicide Squads need to be fanfic. So if you're out there, fanfic them for us. We will read
That was
it.
fun. That was like how I imagine fantasy football is like.
That's fantasy football for us gays.
Exactly. Exactly. Yay, sports ball.
Sports ball, yay!
Yay.
Oh, I love the idea of us like tracking the stats of these people. Like, oh, Harley's killed 5 this year. My team is winning.
Exactly.
I'm thinking who's getting blown up
Come on.
first.
It's like literally slay, bitch, slay.
Yeah. Like, actually, I'm down a player because they blew the head off of Teleporter and B. Oops.
I don't know. I feel like Amanda Waller would be my last man standing. Last woman standing.
Amanda Waller is 100% the last man standing in all scenarios.
Yeah.
And she would be like man standing. I'm sorry, not woman.
Exactly. She's the final person.
She has, yes.
So who are you killing in your team, Mark? Who's dying?
Oh, who dies first?
Yeah.
Who dies
who's
first?
dying? Yeah, who would you kill if you're writing this?
Bizarro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Bizarro or Professor
Bizarro.
Zoom are the
But it would
first.
be done in a way where it's a sad death because you know how it is. It's like Bizarro is very much just a dim bulb,
Yeah.
and so
He's a big himbo energy.
yeah, exactly. And seeing him go like in a sort of like tragic way would just like be a great start to a book.
I would love to see this particular team become obsessively, like just obsessed with Bizarro the himbo and be like the rest of the book is their vengeance for Bizarro the himbo. Because
There
can
you
you
go.
imagine? I mean, we know
Exactly.
that Talia loves to collect a himbo, Red Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
We know what she's all about. So she's just like spends the rest of the thing like exacting very strategic revenge for the death of Bizarro, and everyone's like, well, why do you care?
Yeah.
What's wrong
We
with you?
We could have like the super cheesy ending where like at the end they all are, doing a toast for Bizarro and they're all wearing a shirt with the symbol backwards. So
That's so cute. Somehow it's like almost a Viking funeral for Bizarro. Like
There
the
you
ship
go.
is burning and they're just standing there and they're like, he's not even Norwegian. What are we doing?
Oh my gosh. I'm thinking I would kill Flatline early on, kind of like what they did with is his name Jog in this book.
Yes.
Like, but then she would come back later because her whole thing is that she like comes back from the death-ish, or at least that's what Lord Deathman can do. So like
our
like
Saint Taylor Swift, she comes back from the dead. She does it all the time.
Yeah, she'd come back and like she'd be the last
X-Men.
minute like saving grace.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Taylor doesn't even have Krakoa, and she keeps doing that. So
I know, I'm just saying.
And then Punchline would sacrifice herself and have some sort of character growth.
There you go.
She would have to like sacrifice herself for Harley, I feel like, and it'd be like a thing.
Yeah. They would have some sort of growth in their relationship and see eye to eye, and then she'd die.
Oh, that hurts. I like it a lot.
Yeah. But maybe everyone else. Poison Ivy might die, but of course she comes back because she's a plant. So
she pulls a baby Groot and there's like a little bulb, and then suddenly there's a Poison Ivy.
I think that's happened.
I think that did
happen in the TV show. That definitely happened.
I think that happened in one of the comics. You remember the one where she's like slowly turning more plant? Didn't she come back? She resurrected
I think that
more
was
plant.
around that time. Yeah.
I don't remember which one that is, but the road trip with Harley and Ivy.
Honorable mention for my, I'm trying to think. Yeah, Swamp Thing.
Oh,
that would have been cool too.
Great.
Yeah, that would have been a cool one too. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
After the fact, but hey, next time.
Accepted. Motion accepted.
Right.
If listeners hear any random crashing sounds on that recording, both of my cats are now in a cat fight around the table that I'm recording on.
I think you're okay.
I keep moving my feet because they're like at each other.
It's just the Suicide Squad background noise.
The Suicide Squad is a fluffy ball below me at the moment. So
yeah.
All right. So let us jump into the memes.
Yay. So this is Suicide Squad Bad Blood.
Baby, now we've got Bad Blood. Yeah, I just saw Taylor in
gosh.
concert. This is all I'm going to ever be talking about for the rest of my life.
It's all good.
There's a Bastille song also called that. So
I know, it's fair, but hers was first. So.
And this is by Tom Taylor. And gosh, what is our artist name? Do you guys have the book in front of
Bruno
you?
Redondo?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds correct.
Oh, Redondo. Excuse me.
I'm glad you're here.
I love that TJ ever assumes I have the book in front of me. It's like he has never met me.
I have my iPad in front of me, and it is set to the page with all of the main characters like in their names.
Yes,
so that
me
we can
too. Yeah.
I too did that
them.
because I was like, there are so many of these people. I'm not going to remember everybody unless I do that.
Yeah. These guys are like the Von Trapp kids on crack. It's like I'm trying to remember them all. And I'm like, I don't know who's who, but they're cool. It
definitely feels a little like some of them are important and the others are set dressing, which I don't know that I get they only had so many issues, right? This is is it, right? But I kind of wish we had a little more for the other ones, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and it's such like it's a revolutionaries title, like stealthing. Or it's a stealth revolutionaries title, just called Suicide Squad.
But they get to have their mom and dad in Deadshot and Harley Quinn.
This felt like it because it came out sometime after that first movie. So I feel like they might have been like, just throw in Deadshot and Harley. People know them.
Yeah, exactly.
I like what Tom Taylor did with it though, because they really do get to feel like Harley is never in a mentor role. Like that's very weird and different for her. And I kind of love it. She does a good job. I mean, granted, she's the kind of mentor where they feed her snacks to get her to pay attention, but like she's in that role and Deadshot has done it before. He's trained lots of bat children over the years.
Yeah. And it's funny because they're the veterans of the group, right?
Yeah.
It's like whether Harley likes it or not, she's the reluctant mentor. It's like, so I love, like you said, that there's a certain way where these characters are important and everything, but I don't know, that it was fun to see the other characters get their moments to shine as well too. So I thought that was fair in that, these are characters that can, again, an anchor that brings you in. And then let's fill in the blanks with people you're gonna like. Some new people. So
I think
it feels
smart.
Like Taylor was like, I want to tell this story about all these new characters. And editorial was like, well, we're looking for someone to tell a Suicide Squad story.
And he's like,
and he was
good
like,
enough.
You know what? I'll work it in. I can work with that.
Yeah.
I think it's smart too to have, if you're going to introduce literally like the Von Trapp children of revolutionary queers, you're gonna have to have somebody we already care about, because you want the emotional investment to be there right away, right?
Yeah.
And who has more immediate love than Harley Quinn? Like, Batman doesn't even have as much immediate love as Harley Quinn. I think it is, people have more complicated feelings about him than they do about her, And I think there's a lot of love for Deadshot too. So I think it was really easy to just be like, here's the emotional pathos, and then we'll suck you into everyone else.
Mm-hmm. We have a Star Wars, big fan with us right now. So I'm going to tie this into Star Wars. They're Harley and Deadshot are kind of like the legacy characters.
They're the Leia and the Luke from
totally. That's just
they're Han Soloing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's and I think it was done in such a way where it's not they're like beating you over the head with the characters at all, which is fantastic, right? Because from the get-go, when I started the book, I was like, oh, these are all new. It's like, okay, I didn't know this is where this was going, right? And then but right away I got attached to certain characters. I kept wanting to see more of some of these than the others, and some of them we didn't have a choice with. So
Accurate.
What would a Suicide Squad book be if you didn't have that choice taken away from you, right?
100%.
Well, so I'm going to start go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, we usually start with we literally were so excited we jumped right in, but I think this is your first time reading this, right, Mark?
Yes. And I'm so glad. Thank you so much for having this be the book that we're talking about.
God. I knew in my heart and soul how much you would love this book. So
it was like, so fun.
And this was one I read it just because this is my second time. So I read it month to month a couple years ago when it was coming out, just because I really liked Tom Taylor. And I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. And I loved it so much. So I bought it and wanted it to Chris. I got them to read it. Yeah,
so it's legitimately my second time too, because I read it when it was a trade instead of week to week when TJ let me borrow it. And I've been like waiting. I was like, who am I going to ask to read this with us? And then it became, the vision was clear. It was Mark.
Yeah, we were like,
it's
Pride
a
Month,
gorgeous
Mark.
Book too.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. I feel like this art, it's the same exact creative team on the Nightwing title right now. And if you want to see more of these characters, they have a pretty significant role in the Son of Kal-El title.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Ceary and Wink pop up a lot. They're like
do.
They're everywhere anymore, and I love that. It makes me very excited.
And then there's like a 3-issue arc where the whole team helps out, and it's real fun.
Okay, cool.
Very cute.
But yeah, no, oh my gosh. I feel like, how can someone read this and not like it? Like,
I don't know. It would be a mystery. I remember when we talked about, not on the show, but just to each other, we were like, this is the best Pride book that came out that year. And it's not a Pride book.
Yeah, for sure.
It was just, because that was before the Pride like specials got really good, like they did last year. So it must have come out the year before that. Last year was amazing, but the year before that was kind of,
yeah, it must be 21.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a nice start, right?
Yeah.
Because then it did well enough to where we had this second issue, and I was blown away. I mean, and unfortunately, the timing on it because of who we lost, and everything. But I think that also added to the emotional punch of the whole thing.
Agree.
Yeah.
And this next one that's coming up where they have people teaming up, it looks real good. So
cool.
I'm hopeful. Okay. But back in, I guess, 21, this was like in our opinion, the best accidental Pride issue that they put out was this book.
I think it won a GLAAD award. I could be wrong, but it was at least nominated.
That's so cool. Oh, good. Right?
We always talk about like, straight writers writing these sorts of stories, and it's like, you know what, I don't know Tom Taylor's deal, but he's doing great representation, so I don't care.
No, and he's very much an ally though. I've noticed that just to his online presence. So it's comes to no surprise to me, and I absolutely love that you can count on him to feel seen when you're reading a book of his. So
and like we said, we don't know, he might not be an ally, he might be part of the community and just private, and that's fine too. So we're not making assumptions here, but as far as like, he's not an outrighter, but his writing, it just doesn't matter. It's so clear.
We see you.
We see you writing the queer stuff.
We see what you're doing.
Look, Daddy is feeding. I don't
exactly.
Between this, Son of Kal-El,
God.
Nightwing has some stuff in it. There's just so much
Yeah.
good rep
Yeah.
he's doing.
Like, if he could make Nightwing bisexual, there's no scenario where he wouldn't do it.
Oh, you
He's
know
got
it's
it-
crossed his mind.
He 100%. He's been like, "Can I?" And they've been like, "Down, Tom, down."
I do
Oh,
think this book
God.
reads way better in one chunk than it did month to month. Like
Yeah.
it felt like, because like it's not a slow burn, but
Mhm.
it was slower month to month, obviously.
Mhm.
And then I'd be forgetting plot points and who was who. But like reading all of this all at once this time, it really felt like it was like a movie.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
I could just
yeah.
clearly see it. Like this should totally be a Suicide Squad movie.
It is
Yeah.
very cohesive. Like, we've read a lot lately. And so even the really great ones we've read, I'm talking about Eternal. I love you, Batman Eternal. You're my favorite.
I was thinking Harleen.
Oh, Harleen, no, I feel like Harleen is cohesive. What I was about to say was
Oh,
we've
yeah,
read a
yeah.
lot that isn't, but it's still
Gotcha.
good. But this is like a story. Like, it could be a novel in the way that it's so cohesive.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Just can I start rolling off characters? And
Yeah, let's do it. Why don't
See
we
how
break
we
them
feel.
down?
I feel like we talked about Harley and Deadshot already. Our
Yeah,
legacy
love them.
bros.
Did you have? We've talked about Harley a ton on the show, but we haven't talked about Deadshot much. Do you either one of you have strong Deadshot feelings?
Uh,
Like I said, other than the fact that like I just like the inclusion of that character. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this character's kind of cool, you know. I mean, but I don't know that I ever really like actively seek the character out.
Mm,
But I
Yeah.
like that they were included here. I love the way they were included, and I love how the story went for that character because it became an important part, right?
Yeah.
So there's that.
Diane.
we
that
will
was a
get
great
to
death.
it.
I- Spoiler alert.
We're past that point. I love Deadshot. I have loved Deadshot for ages. I can't even
Yeah.
remember why I initially loved Deadshot. Like, I couldn't place it in any particular spot in canon, but I love him.
I know he was
Cool.
an Arrow, but I don't really remember.
That is, oh God, TJ, that's
him
it.
much.
It was an
Is that it?
Arrow. That's where I
Yeah.
fell in love with Deadshot. It was Arrow. You're
And,
right.
you know, the movie came out, and like I liked Will Smith as him, and I felt like this book kind of felt like the perfect continuation of that
Mm.
story from that movie with the
That's
daughter, and
Exactly it. Yeah.
like this was
Yeah.
very accessible to anyone who had just casually seen that first Suicide Squad movie.
I will,
Yeah.
now that you've like unlocked this part of my brain, I will say Deadshot and Ollie in Arrow are so gay for each other, and you've just unlocked why I like this character. They
Yeah.
are a great ship in that first season where they're stranded on the island together, and it's like real sexy.
I mean, I wouldn't mind being stranded on an island with Stephen Amell, but you know, whatever.
mean, look. Look.
You're thinking of Slade on
Am
the
I thinking of
island.
Slade? Oh
Yeah.
God damn it! It's
'Cause
not
Slade was on the
Deadshot.
island. Deadshot was like in prison. It was kind of the same thing where
Oh,
like they were
shit.
using him as a
It was,
Suicide
it was in
Squad.
prison. That was another story, Chris.
You're right. I'm sorry. Slade was sexy.
That went
My
a whole
bad.
different
Slade
way.
was really hot.
Slade
But
was
they both
hot.
have masks.
They both. No, I know the characters are different. I just can't remember Arrow. It's very hazy.
But no,
I
Slade was
just
very
remember all
hot.
the shirtless Stephen Amell
Yeah,
moments where he's sitting there
fact.
doing exercises and stuff.
Just
And
jumping the
About it.
ladder.
So I don't
Nice.
feel
The
bad that
ladder.
you also don't remember what Deadshot did in Arrow.
No,
'Cause
I feel better
don't.
because I had just thought it was Slade. So never mind. But no, I love Deadshot. Deadshot's great. Different
He was good at
character.
Arrow.
But
Just couldn't tell you what he did. I just know he was in it.
he was good doing things.
He was doing things because that's when they started forming the Suicide Squad in Arrow, and
Yeah,
then they were like,
they just
"Hey, you
dropped
can't
that.
do that."
Like, it's hot.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Um,
R.I.P. All right. So who else we got?
for our newbies, would it be Osita? Was she the leader?
Osita? Yeah.
yeah.
I loved her. Just her
Strong,
casual-
angry leader. I love it.
Yeah.
Her wife. That was sad.
I know.
For
I
me,
love
it was
this.
good.
From what I'm reading, though, because like oso means bear, so I think they called her Osita because she's a big kind of.
Oh, I
You know,
love that.
Yeah, so that's what I got from why they called her that.
Yeah.
But you know,
If she was a
correct
man,
me if
she'd be a
I'm
bear.
wrong.
Yeah, she's a lady bear.
She
Hey,
is. a
I
lady
love
bear.
this. I love this butch lesbian representation. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get that a lot in comics, really, at all, ever. So I love her.
We had
Um,
Finn, who I really thought was Lagoon Boy for a hot second. The brother dying though,
Boy.
oh my god.
That was Bruno.
So they're
Yeah.
like Finn and Scale are psychically linked from birth, and then Killer Croc just eats him in front of him and then mentally describes it to him through a telepathic link. I was like, ah!
It's the shark.
I lost it.
I thought it was, God, what's his name? From the new Suicide Squad movie.
It's not
the
King Shark?
It's not King. He's called the Shark, and
That's
he
how
dies.
I got them mixed up too. Yeah.
Yeah, they look exactly the same, but there's no
I
way
just-
they can be the same.
I swear
There's
to God,
no
I
way.
just assumed they brought King Shark back from the dead after this. It's telling me this is a different guy.
Yeah, his name is the Shark. And I'm
Okay,
like,
because it's King Shark's not psychic, right? Because I was reading this and I was like,
No,
when
I don't
King
think
Shark
so.
becomes psychic?
Yeah,
Y'all, did anyone else not know this was a different person? Honestly, I feel better because I like King Shark and I was prepared to hate him for the rest of my life after this comic. So I'm kind of glad to know it's a different murderous shark that's on the Suicide Squad.
I thought his death was very satisfying.
It was.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, eat him, sharks. And then Fen just pets the shark on the head and is like, good boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
That
I
was
don't
good.
command the sharks. I just
Payback.
ask them nicely.
Yes.
That was good. What about Zebra Man?
Oh my God.
I don't know if he's
Zebra Man.
original to this book or not.
No, I think he's been. I mean, I might be totally making this up, but I think he's just like a Z lister.
Zebra Man.
I loved how he was just like a derp. Like he was just like, oh man.
Yeah, he was like a
Uh,
plot device with the
he
force
was.
fields.
He
But then
really
the zebra
was.
gag was just really funny.
I love Harley Quinn trying to understand them. It's my favorite bit that's like a running gag as she tries to understand their code names and their powers and whatever. And the zebra thing, she's like, were you bitten by a radioactive zebra? Do you just like zebras? Like, what's your deal? And he just goes, I've never thought about it. And she's like, how? How have you ever thought?
And the
Oh.
fact later he's like, I lied. I do love zebras. That was good. Him and Jog, when Jog was like holding him and they're running across the lake, I don't know. I kind of felt something.
Can we talk about how Jog is a fat speedster? It's my favorite thing in the world. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that so much. And it's
He's
just
got a
not
bit of
even
a
a
tummy.
thing. Yeah. It's not even a thing. It's just is. And I love it so much. And I want to hug him and I love him. And I'm very sad he doesn't make it.
Well, he comes
Yeah,
back to life.
That's no, not the second time.
He dies again.
He gets his head blown up.
But
TJ,
so near the
He
near
goes
the
on
end of the-
fire. Oh, you're right. The like psychic
his dad is
thing.
like death or something, and he
I
comes
forgot about
back
that.
in the last issue.
I forgot
How
about that.
convenient.
I
He
know.
comes back from the dead twice in this because he gets his face burnt off Two-Face style, and then he heals from it, and then he gets his head blown
Yes.
up, and he gets Grim Reapered back to life. I forgot that would happen.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
late in the game, but it was very tropey, but it felt like it was kind of making fun of that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I kind of thought it was funny, but it was very convenient.
It was very
yeah.
convenient. I did love his character. I thought he was very fun. I love
I
that
did
he is
too.
like his power is so draining that he's just like catnaps all the time. It's very cute.
That's
cute.
right.
Yeah,
I love
him
that
and
he
Zebra
stops to
Man.
take a water break in the middle of the fight. Because there's a lot of really cute bits about his character.
Yeah, he's real cute. I guess he was like too powerful. They had to kill him off for half the story. Otherwise, it would have been solved real quick.
I think they just had too many characters. Let's be honest. They were like, we cannot have all
Yeah.
these people at the same time. That's why they kept splitting them up. Because periodically I wanted to be like, Scooby-Doo, like, why are we splitting up? This seems like a bad idea.
And we got to talk about Wink and the Ceary. Love
What are your
them.
thoughts, Mark?
I really like those two characters actually. Those are the two of them that stood out to me.
Mhm.
I love that we got our fair share time with them too, because sometimes, like you said, a lot of times I thought that, oh, these guys are just going to be in the background the whole time, but then when you
Mhm.
give them a little more, like there's more meat to the story, I was like, oh, cool,
Yeah.
I'm glad we're getting to spend time with these characters, right?
Yeah, me too.
So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
cute.
They
the
are
fact that
very
they got
cute.
like flashbacks and stuff really
Yes.
made
Their
us fall in love
flashbacks are
with
very
them.
romantic.
They
I love
are.
They're
our
so
little
cute.
baby Envy. Oh,
Yeah.
I
I
love
love them
Cute.
both.
I love everything about them. These two are definitely the standout in the book, as well as the ones that have kind of stood out into other things. Like clearly other writers and such like these two the best as well, because they keep appearing places.
Yeah.
No.
Still waiting for that Ben Con written Pride story.
Yeah,
about
come on,
them.
DC. Come on, DC.
I'm surprised they haven't really been in the Pride.
I feel like they've been. Were
Anthologies
they in
yet.
Were they in that JLQ Pride? They were in that one, I think. For a
Yeah,
brief
they definitely
second.
made a cameo at the end.
They
But
need
like,
to
I
be
want
in
a
it more.
story. Give me
Give
a
us-
story about
Give us
them.
Wink and Airy. I love everything about Airy. I love that they are an anxious mess. I love that they hate flying in planes, even though they can fly for real. It's very cute.
That was funny.
I loved it. Deadshot just being like, "What? You're afraid of flying?"
Yeah. And I guess it is a big difference.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And then the
Just their
plane does crash.
designs.
So I guess
Ugh.
Airy was right. Just say.
Yeah. They made some points. We have Chaos Kitten. Do you guys
Chaos
remember
Kitten.
her?
I like the
I-
name.
Look, I was obsessed with Chaos Kitten, and I'm mad. That's the character I think I'm the most mad we didn't get more of. I loved
Hmm.
her. I loved her little beanie with the little cat ears that just says
Yes.
nope across it. I love that she's basically a little gremlin. I love her. I just really I think it would be very fun because she's kind of like ninja-y. I think it would be very fun to have a like dual Asian girl ninja adventure with her and Cascade. I think that would be so fun.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Right?
That'd
That
be
would
fun.
be cute. I would like it very much.
Throw her into the Spirit World title coming out.
Oh my God, the Spirit World. Mark, have you read the Spirit World title? It's so good.
Is
Oh
it?
my God.
Okay.
It is. It has a new indie character in it as well. And it has Constantine and Cascade, and they're all
Okay.
locked in the spirit realm, and it's so good.
Spirit
Yeah.
Worlds is what it's called.
Yes.
Okay,
Just
I gotta
came
check it
out.
out.
Yeah,
Okay.
Spirit World
Okay.
is the code name for the new NB character. Right?
It's like a
Sweet.
part of their movement to be more inclusive. These are like
Yeah.
Asian focused titles, but this one's
Yeah.
also queer. So like, and I think
And it-
Chaos Kitten, is she Asian or was I making that up?
She's Asian. Yeah, that's what I
So,
was
like,
saying.
throw
She's
her
born
in
in Hong
there.
Kong. I think that would be cute. I also love that it features mini panels of Constantine covered in cats. He's just got cats everywhere. He's cat sitting at one point, and there's like 15 of them on him. And
Yeah,
it's great.
yeah.
It's great. It's a good one.
So is everyone on this Revolutionaries team queer?
Yeah.
Do you think everyone?
Yeah, I assumed.
Who's
you
not
know?
Who's not? Look at these people and tell me who's
I know.
straight.
That's something I'm like, is Jog? And I'm like,
Yeah.
Exactly. Then
They're
I feel like-
TNT,
okay.
who sounds like a Nickelodeon like superhero name. So
TNT
Aw.
was so funny.
I was
I
sad he
can't.
died, but I guess
I
we
know.
got his sister.
Yeah.
in
They're
him.
great. They're all great. I love Deadly Six because if it was 7, it would be creepy.
That was
Right?
funny.
exactly. Yeah.
And we
Yeah, his
haven't
power was
talked
cool.
about Tylosine,
Yeah.
whose superhero name sounds like a antidepressant, but hey, okay.
Yeah, I feel like her and
Have you
Chaos
tried
Kitten.
Tylosine? Because I heard it
Exactly.
works really well, less side effects.
Yeah.
What even was her power? I don't even
Okay, I have it
remember.
open. Heightened senses and a hunter. That's what she
Mm.
got. This was another character I felt weird about because this is like the Black woman on the team and she does nothing and says nothing. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
come on. That's not cool.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
It was. She seemed like she'd have been cool, but she gets nothing to do ever.
Yeah. Yeah, all their designs are so good. Like, I
They
just
really
want an ongoing. Like, why have they not
Yeah.
gotten an ongoing title yet?
It's absurd. It's because Tom Taylor is busy writing Nightwing and like Fair, but like somebody else could do it.
Yeah.
I did like, okay, going back a bit, Deadly Six's power was really fun. I love that he could like get to the heart of what influences people in really interesting ways. He was like, like talking about how greed is the source of self-preservation and just stuff like that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to sit here and think about this for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
I really appreciated that particular piece of I wouldn't say dialogue, but the script, I
Yeah.
guess you could say, the words.
Yeah.
That stuck out to me as well too.
Yeah, he stuck out to me throughout it. Even though he's kind of minor, but he manages to have powerful moments. His moments with Deadshot and Harley, where he is like, "No, I get you two. Like, I understand people are mad because you feel like establishment, but you're victims, you're slaves, and you know, I get that." He was so compassionate. I just loved him.
He seemed like the strong, silent type. Like,
But he wasn't though, because he talked a lot more than the other ones did.
yeah, true. I don't know. Had the
Osita is the strong silent type.
True.
Actually, literally what Harley Quinn calls her at one point when she drugs her to get her to talk.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Any of the characters, like Amanda Waller was in it very briefly. I'm surprised she didn't have like more of a send-off type scene. She just kind of was like, all right, you're not mine, bye.
Yeah. Yep. She really didn't.
I wonder what happened to her. Where did she go?
She probably had her own title at the time. I honestly can't remember. I'm sure she was somewhere. Amanda Waller is always somewhere.
Well, plot-wise, the first thing I would want to ask you guys about is like the Batman issue in Gotham. Yeah,
Please.
what are some things that stood out to you? Because I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
I'm trying to jog my memory because
you're good. It's like I'll start talking and you can jump in.
Please.
How about that?
Yes, please. And I will join in.
Love the Batman issue. The whole Gotham stuff was so funny. So in that one, they go to Gotham so that they can find a nurse that broke out of Arkham. And they have this whole discussion about, is she the one that saved lives or is she the one that stabbed 3 people? Yes. And then Harley's like, I actually don't remember.
And then Batman comes in and is like, hey, we have a problem. The doctor stabbed 3 people with the spoon.
And so funny. Oh my God, it was so funny. And Harley has this moment where she's like, what is the world coming to if we literally can't trust somebody who's I have it here. What's the world coming to when you can't trust a mad back alley doctor who lost her license due to mild organ harvesting?
It's something that made me laugh. I don't know if it was intentional, and I probably not, because the way I took it is not how it was intended. But when they're like, there's a bounty on us, but it's really high, and it cuts to Batman staring at their bounty in the cave, and it's like 24 million, and then he takes off in the car, and I'm just thinking like, damn, he really needs that money.
I was gonna say, is this during the Lincoln March robbed him of all his cash era?
Right.
He's like, I gotta buy batarangs somehow.
That made me laugh.
Now that I'm jogging my memory a little bit, I've like the panel of Batman behind Harley was beautiful, right? Yes. And then her saying "Stop Batmaning" because everybody keeps disappearing on her.
I know. I loved it.
That a couple times.
That's good, so and I love that whenever there was fighting involved with Batman, they had the word sound effects like the old Batman 66 series.
It was like, so good.
This is so cool. It's like, that you're bringing that back into this era is pretty like interesting. I was like, that was a cool choice. I really appreciated that.
Really charming. I love it. I love the entire sequence where Deadshot is distracting Batman so they could get away is so good.
With the puppy.
Every part of it. The first one, he shoots him and Wink just pops up and is like, did you kill the Batman? And he's like, no, he'll get up. He's good. And then Osita is like, you're a good man. And he's like, I just shot bullets into a beloved hero's face, but sure.
Yeah.
And then Chaos Kitten gives him the puppy and is like, look, Batman would never punch a puppy. And the fact that Deadshot pulls out that puppy and Batman's fist stops like inches from the puppy and it literally works.
Yeah, stop. I'm holding a dog. He's just holding him. It's so cute.
It is adorable. And then they proceed to have the most hilarious conversation about his daughter and Batman's sons, which just slayed me because he's like trying to lecture him about you need to be a better father. And he's like, I'm sorry, do you not have like 4 child soldiers?
Right.
Bitch, please.
Yeah. See, like the Robin part was funny to me, but like that I don't know. My when I look back at that scene, it's like very serious to me. And that he's like, where he's like, your government has done this to me, and like
Yeah.
these people in this team are better people than like, so I don't know. I felt like he was trying to be like Batman, like your view of good and evil is very.
Yeah. I agree. But
What
then
were you
it
saying,
ends
Mark?
with
I'm sorry to
oh, sorry,
cut
go
you
ahead.
off. No, I'm
No,
cutting
no,
everyone
no,
off.
no. I was just gonna say I was gonna jump ahead like to all the way to the end when Wink made Ben's like Batmobile disappear, like his ride
Yeah.
disappear, basically, right?
Yeah.
And then that like the whole back and forth with him and Deadshot asked him if he wanted to call in an Uber because he wanted to call you an ambulance.
That
I
was
love
so
that because
good.
Wink steals the Batmobile.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the reveal of him turning around and Batman hasn't disappeared. And he's like, "What's wrong with you?" And Batman's like, "My car is gone."
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Uber,
the best
ambulance.
thing. And I love at the very end when Batman's confronting them again. He's like, they need to see like time for their crimes. And Wink is just like, "Is it because I stole your car?" And Superman flies down and goes, "She stole your car?"
He's like, it's not because of that. Yeah, that was good.
That's
Yeah, I feel
right.
like this book was really trying to,
Yeah.
like, because even at the end, they're like, Batman wants to take them into custody, and
Yeah.
they're like, no, like they literally just saved this island and these people.
Yeah.
So like, I don't
If
know,
we-
like,
Mhm. No, I agree.
no, just I'm thinking like I thought that Batman was used so well in this book and was
Mhm.
so funny, but then also a part of me is like, I don't know if my Batman in my mind would have tried to arrest them at the end. I don't know.
Well, I
He
think-
just seemed like he wasn't getting it.
I think he wasn't getting it, but Batman doesn't always get it, right? If Batman
Yeah.
always got it, he wouldn't have literally 4 Robins that go off on their own to do their own thing. Like he does
Yeah.
it always. He sometimes is rigid in his way of thinking what is good and what is bad. And I think people like Harley Quinn and Deadshot run up against that all the time. And so then he sees a whole team and Deadshot's sitting there going like, "Look, I'm a complicated villain, but these people are actual good guys. Like you need to adjust your perspective because they are actually what good looks like."
Yeah.
And I think that was powerful.
Mm-hmm. Like I guess they're murdering people, but
Who isn't?
like they're revolutionaries. Come on.
Yeah.
The line's a little bit blurred. It's okay.
Yeah.
And a
It's
little
okay.
bit
I
it's
guess that
like-
tracks for Batman not getting it.
Right.
But I'm like, no, like in my mind, I'm like, I want Batman to get it. Wayne family Batman. would get it.
Wayne family
Yeah.
Batman would get it. You're right. I feel like a little bit, it's a little what the commentary of the overall book is, because the plot of this book is that the Suicide Squad gets taken over by Black Mass disguised as Ted Cord. But sidetrack, did you both think that Ted Cord had just done this because he's so psycho half the time that I was like, yeah, it seems fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the character well enough, so I think it for me it worked out fine. But then it was like when
Yeah.
there was the twist, and then we find out who this person really is and everything,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
Also when Superman shows up too, and it's like,
Yeah.
but
This is fishy.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you gotta have. I mean, regardless of whatever type of villain you get in the DC books, right? We look through people that fell down the vat of this, or you got your superpowers because you're from a different planet, or whoever it was your papa was, or the trauma that you grew up with, whatever it may be, right? But
Yes.
then I love that one of the things that you see in these books is there's always a corporate villain, right? A man that's got so
Yes.
much money that they're able to make all these things happen, and their
I
revenge, their
know.
agendas are all fueled by the money that they've made or that they've
Right.
inherited.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say about bigger themes. Like this is a inherently like anti-capitalist, anti-colonial. Like
Mhm.
this is a brilliantly like anti-system kind of a book, and I really did love that. I screenshotted the scene where they were like, Ted Cord used to be the only ethical millionaire or billionaire, and I was like dying laughing, and I was like, so Bruce Wayne never made that list, is what you're saying? Like somehow
Some
fucking
people
Batman did
Just
not
get a
make
small
that list.
loan of $1 million.
Not an ethical
Um,
billionaire, Batman. You didn't
Did
make
you
the
guys
list.
near the end? There's like when they go after the billionaires, one of them is definitely Donald Trump, right? It looked just like him.
100%.
Like it felt like a little Easter egg.
I loved it.
But
Oh my god. But
to
yeah,
answer
Mm.
your question,
yes.
my first time reading this, I had no idea who Ted Cord was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I just rolled with
Okay.
it. But this time around, I was like, isn't he
Blue
Blue
Beetle,
Beetle, so
OG.
I don't think that's him.
I just
So.
genuinely hate Ted Cord, so I was willing to
Mm.
accept that he'd go this far. In my head, he's like, this is such sacrilege, so, I'm sorry all. He reminds me a lot of Mr. Fantastic over, on the Marvel side of things, where it's like, is he usually a good guy? Yes. But could you believe he would do something horrible? I could. I could believe
We
it.
don't need him anymore. We have Jaime.
I know exactly. We have Jaime exactly for this reason, because Ted Cord sucks. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, Ted Cord does suck. And then it was like, surprise, it's not Ted Cord. And I was like, okay, I don't like him better, but all right. Yes, that makes sense.
I feel like we've talked about recently how much we like Black Mask. So like I forgot he was the villain. So when he popped up, I actually didn't believe it was Black Mask. I thought there was someone else he would turn into because I didn't remember Black Mask having that ability.
I didn't
so
either.
Like
he didn't in the one we read. I swear he didn't do that.
I feel like it must be a recent thing.
Maybe
so I was like,
it's
he's
mask.
not like a chameleon.
It could be like a technology thing.
Maybe, but I was expecting it to not really be Black Mask.
So
like,
funny.
When they took it off by accident, I was like, oh, who is it really? Like you mentioned Scooby-Doo.
Like you were waiting for them to pull and it's yet another mask. And
Yeah.
I too
so
could not remember who was behind this when it became clear to me again that Ted Cord was not it, because I had totally forgotten who was the villain. I was like, who would be doing this? Is it Lex Luthor? Like who we got? And then it was Black Mask.
I feel like he didn't really matter. Like
No.
he was a billionaire, so I guess, but like, or is he a billionaire? Or does he just have a lot of money?
I think he's a billionaire, probably.
Okay, so they just needed a rich guy.
He's corporate,
Yeah.
Mm.
But the panel of like them being like only a billionaire in Gotham dressed up as Batman, that would be crazy.
That would be crazy. That's Harley, because she's like, is Ted Cord Batman? And he's like, that's stupid.
Yeah. Mark, you mentioned the death shot outcome.
R.I.P.
How did you feel about it?
I think it was just right. I mean, it was sad, I mean, it's one of those things where like when you get an anti-hero, they don't always have a happy ending, right? A lot of times it's usually tied to a family member that they want to do right by, but because of everything that they've done up until that point, it's almost like they're going to be somewhat proud of their parent at some point when they hear about them. Look, your parents sacrificed themselves in this way, right? But it's like it's almost like they're not allowed that happy ending because her life's always going to be in danger because of her dad and who her dad has been. So it's complicated. It's like you have to take him out of the picture so that it makes it possible for her to have a better future.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
No, it does.
And it's sad that it has to end up that way, but like otherwise, unless they can go and live on an island where nobody's ever going to touch them or something, it's just not going to work, right?
That never works out. Ask Magneto. People never leave you alone on your island.
The
you want to be on
are
your
never
island,
good.
and they won't let you.
He's been in an
As
island.
Fall
He's
of
been in
X
the
is around
space
the
station. I
corner.
don't know. The man has been everywhere, and it just never works out.
It's true. It's one of those things where, like, I think it's sad, and that's always like a very tragic story is when the character gets out and then gets sucked back in by all of it. And I think that happens very quickly in this one, but it's really powerful because he's having that conversation with Batman, and he's like, I want to stop. And his conversation with his wife slayed me, where he was like, I don't know what else to do, and she's like, you would rather murder people than learn a skill?
Yeah,
my
Hey,
dude,
that's
that's
knows
like
a
you're
skill.
good at it, right? I mean, it's like that's what he does, right?
Yeah, it
After a
is.
while, it's all like, damn it! It's like I could have done anything in this life, but this, hey,
What, stop being an assassin in this economy?
Right. Like the amount of money he probably makes compared to what he would make working a normal job is like, why would he stop? It definitely made me think they were going to kill the daughter off for a second. I got real worried.
Live shot. I love live shot and dog shot. It was the funniest.
Tom Taylor loves a dog sidekick. He's done that for Nightwing
It was really
too.
cute. It was really cute.
But Mark, to kind of pick up what you were saying, like I got defensive for a second hearing you talk. I was like, what? No. I was like, she's already kind of taken up the mantle. Like she's gonna do this no matter what. But she was kind of going down his path, as we saw, by killing those animals. So like now that he's out of the picture, I could actually, as you're saying, see her still go down being like some super powered person in the scene, but maybe she'll be a hero now.
I really
she has that edge. Like there's, again, it's already informed her
Right.
a bit like where she's going with her story, right? But I think
Mhm.
now after seeing what has happened, hopefully, it's not going to end up
Yeah.
being the same. We don't need to see a repeat of what her father went through. So
Well, I thought it
Yeah.
was really powerful because like Harley is there witnessing the conversation where he's asking his daughter not to kill and to be better, right? And then Harley at the end, after he dies, goes back to see her, and there's this moment of like, I guess you're gonna leave now. And that's kind of the traditional thing. Like that's how most stories would have ended. But
Yeah.
instead she's like, no, I'm a trauma-informed psychologist. We're gonna go inside and talk. Like,
right. Yeah.
like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna leave you here. Like it was a very like corrective emotional experience for how most of these stories in a Gotham informed way would usually go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
That
there's
was really
hope.
good.
There's hope there for her.
Yeah.
And Harley can speak to that, and be like, look, I knew your pops, but I understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
You have a chance to do better. It's like,
yeah.
if you need to beat somebody's ass, by all means do so. But
Yeah.
because obviously she can take care of herself. So
I love a Harley again as a mentor. I really, really dug that. I think that was one of the more powerful things in Birds of Prey was Harley mentoring Cascade, right? The movie Birds of Prey. And
Yeah.
I really love it here with her kind of like taking on that role. I would love there to be a continuation. Obviously, this has passed at this point, but it could have been a great continuation for Harley to be like taking care of this kid. I think it would have been very cool.
I keep mentioning my Kite Man comic idea. Maybe Deadshot's kid could be the kid Kite Man mentors. The
Kite Man's kid.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about like the Harley Deadshot relationship was probably my favorite part of the first Suicide Squad movie. There's like brief moments between them where they're just the friendship. Like I thought that was really strong. It's like the scene where we just see them saying they're proud of each other in this book.
Yeah.
It's just really impactful, and like in an issue called "The Death of Deadshot," I guess
know.
you're like, oh, are they really gonna do it?
Yeah.
But her putting on his mask like in that one of the final fights, and like she wears it, and just that was really powerful for me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Oh my God.
Agree.
I love them. They were such good bros. Harley is a good bro. I will die on those hills. She is continuously a good bro.
I wonder if he's still dead.
Think so. I feel like he's back. I might be totally wrong because as we know, I continually repeatedly think he's Slade. So I'm not sure. Slade's definitely alive.
I'm thinking now, Jason Todd was doing like some sort of team up with Task Force X recently, but they were all zombies.
Yeah.
I think one of them might have been him.
Oh, zombie. Let me see. Is Deadshot.
Is he dead?
I've Googled so much in this episode. Still dead.
I think that's about all I had. Besides the Donald Trump cameo at the end, that's the only thing I'm looking at. I'm like, this looks like Donald Trump. Literally
look back. My panels.
It's the golf course scene, and he's like, he has his hands over his ears, and just the face, you can tell they like were looking at a Donald Trump photo and like copying it. I'm sure it's not him technically, but I think it's supposed to be like an Easter egg.
I gotta say, I was thinking about something reading this one, which just seems so obvious to me now, and I don't know why I've never thought about it before. But so we have this scene where they're giving basically a presentation, and Harley's like trying to focus, and they literally make her snacks so she pays attention. And I gotta say right now, Harley Quinn, amazing ADHD representation. I don't know if anyone's ever done that on purpose, but she really is good at ADHD representation.
I knew that's what you're gonna say. As soon as you brought up that scene, I was like, yeah.
Hey, as someone with ADHD, you can bribe me with snacks. Thank you very much.
It's on brand.
It's on brand.
Was there any like final things plot wise or character wise that we haven't touched on?
I didn't say this earlier, but I cried over Deadshot's death both times.
It was sad.
I knew it was gonna happen, and I still cried both times. That was oh
sad.
my God.
And her going to see the kid was real.
Yeah, I cried over that too.
Real sad.
In her really sexy suit. Oh my God, Harley.
Such a good
love
outfit.
that she shows up for a trauma bond wearing the sexiest outfit.
Did an outfit switch just for that. Yeah.
She's like, I've got blood on my other suit. I gotta dress up a little.
Well, do either of you have any like? I know this is such a good book. Do we have any criticisms? Like,
I mean, I think that we kind of touched on it. I think that it would have probably had to be longer to accomplish this. So I do understand. But I feel like if you're going to have a cast this diverse, it's like the Eternals problem, the Eternals movie, which I love. I love it. But if you're going to have a diverse cast, that can't just be it. You can't just be in the background. They've got to be important too, or it feels like you're box checking a little bit. And I love Tom Taylor, and I think he does a lot of good work, and probably even I imagine in his head these characters are not two-dimensional. I think he probably had more to say. So this might be more of an editorial problem based on just other things Tom Taylor has written. I just don't think this is him. But I feel like if you're going to be like, here's a Black woman and here's a Latinx person and blah blah blah, they can't all just be present. They have to be something.
yeah.
And so it feels like, even though I love Deadshot and he was like the emotional center of the story, to make the white man the emotional center of a story of very diverse characters is a little bit like, you could do better.
Yeah. Well, it's like, why, like you said, the cast is so large. So like having, it feels like they could have cut out 2 of those extra characters. And like, if, again, they really didn't have much personality in the book, sadly. So I'm like, if the Chekhov race is what you're looking for, you could have made one of the other characters like, I don't know, they could have just done it a little differently to make it a little better.
I agree. I think I'm really getting tripped up by Vaseline. Is that what it was? I'm making it sound like more like a medication every time I say it.
I think that's it.
I think Vaseline specifically tripped me up because, well, her and Chaos Kitten, because I was like, awesome Asian woman, awesome Black woman, like that's really cool. And we've talked about recently, if you go back to our Eternal episode, how rare, I know this is not in Gotham, but is this Gotham adjacent, right? Black women don't appear in Gotham. That's like a whole thing, Stephen Leva pointed out. So it was kind of exciting to see Thessaly, and she's a Black woman who's not related to Lucius Fox. So it's like a big deal that she exists. It's true. It's really sad how true that is, right?
That is very, very true. Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, amazing. She's here. And then like, she doesn't even pass the Bechdel test because she doesn't have any conversations. So, and that's the lowest bar, right? And it's not to say she only has conversations about men. She has no conversations. So
she just had I don't like, she has the least amount of personality, but that's because she didn't really get to do anything.
Exactly.
So, like,
yeah.
I feel like she has one. We just didn't get to see it.
I do. Like I truly believe that if we saw Tom Taylor's notes, she probably has a full story. I think it was there, I trust him enough to believe that. And I just wish that we'd gotten the time to see it because it feels a little checkboxy in this state, a little tokenist.
Yeah.
But so I have to wonder, like, if they do, I mean, see, when did this particular series come out?
Like 2021?
Yeah,
it hasn't even been that long. That's right.
Real recent. Recent.
I mean, it would be cool. Like you said, you've seen these characters, some of these characters pop up again, but if you have the team together and then you get to see it evolve a little more, it would be great, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a day in the life of something, whatever it may be, that gives a little more story and weight to what already exists. Because you're right, though. I mean, I love that. I love that there were so many different people in this particular book, but because there's so many and you don't get the time with each one, you have to wonder, like, well, how do we make this team diverse? And you don't want to be pandering necessarily, but it's like it's a fine line, right? Of like inclusion and have it not be pandering. It's like, and there's so much of that these days. It's like, and it's funny because I hate it when the other side says it, like, but,
we can say this, no one else can.
We're being critical in that we are speaking to it because of how we see it, right? I mean, it's like, oh, we appreciate it, but
that's how you can do better.
Yeah.
It's not,
and there's always room for improvement. I don't care how good anybody is on this planet.
Oh yeah.
God, and obviously we have cool people like Tom Taylor. He obviously seems very humble about his work and like what he does and everything. I mean, it would be one thing if it were somebody we didn't like.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you said, it's cool. We trust that there was more to it, but time constraints budget cuts, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Like-
think we're coming at it from a place of love and respect, whereas
There you
the
go.
other side.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly. It's one of those
Yeah.
where TJ and I joked about this meme was going around where it's like, wow, I hate her. And then a man says he hates her, whoever she is. And you're like, actually, she's my sister and I would die for her. It's like, it depends on who is criticizing. You're
Exactly. It's
suddenly
like, yeah, it's like I can say anything about my best friend over there. You do,
Yeah,
and we're gonna have
you
words.
actually, yeah, no,
Right.
you can't, you cannot, you're not allowed. And it feels like that. Cause like, okay, if I'm, you're saying, what will we change? I understand the boomerang man is important to people for some reason, but in all honesty, I would cut out that entire adventure so that we could have more of the characters that are introduced in the story.
What
Fair
happened
enough.
to him? I don't
Fair
even
enough.
remember.
I just
Die.
remember
Who
the,
killed
the
him?
boomerang, and people getting hurt, and
Who killed this man?
Wait, did he die? Wait, they were supposed to kill him, and
Because
instead
they killed the other guy
Deadshot
instead.
kills Locke. Where the fuck did Boomerang Man go? Don't actually
I don't
know.
know.
Okay,
Huh.
I'm
I'm
swinging
gonna
back
go back
around
and
to
see if I can find.
I'm gonna swing back
know
around to saying it clearly wasn't important because we read this entire thing. I read it entirely today and I don't remember what happened to him.
I'm
Also-
guessing he ran off with them, but then just left
Left.
when they went to Gotham because he wasn't
I'm-
really a part of the team.
I'm just
Hmm.
saying he killed Tim Drake's parents, so I don't really care if he lives or dies. I know that's not current continuity, or maybe it is. I don't know, but I'm never gonna care about Boomerang Man.
Yeah. No, he was another he was in the movie. Throw him
Right?
in there, I guess.
So I feel like, okay, cut out the entire Australia Boomerang Man adventure. Give us more Vaseline and Chaos Kitten.
Yeah. And they could have
Solved it.
easily been the focus, the point of view characters in one of those missions.
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of stuck with the same ones. for
Well,
a
we
little
got
bit.
flashbacks from Ceary and Wink. We got flashbacks from Asita, and we got a flashback from Jog. I
Yeah.
feel like if we taken out the boomerang stuff, we could have one more issue where we get a flashback about Chaos Kitten and Vaseline. They could have even had the same backstory, so we could have got it at once. It doesn't matter, but I feel like just give us some detail. Who are they? We don't even know. The most we get about who they are is there's
Yeah.
somebody that was hurt by the Suicide Squad. We know that much, and that's
Yeah.
it.
What'd you
What'd
find, Mark?
Well, no, because you remember, it's it was just a pawn, just so they could say they could capture Boomerang, and then
Yeah.
when they bring him before what's his face,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
They
what
kill
happened
him.
to him?
he gets
Is he
dead.
dead? Okay.
He's dead?
I literally couldn't remember.
I look. I'm trying to find the panel where this happens at, because
No, I know that he was supposed to die, but I don't actually remember him
Yeah.
dying.
yeah,
No, I don't either, because they have the fight. Hold on, I'm gonna look too.
I love this. We are in deep. We're going to
because remember he
take
wanted
the-
fighting.
Deadshot. He wanted Deadshot to shoot him, but he ended up, yeah.
Did he blow him up? What happened to him? Because I
Why
know
do I not
Deadshot didn't kill him,
remember?
so who did?
Any of this? Oh wait, there's something where. Nope. Hold on.
We're gonna solve this.
It's when
I
they bring him.
need to
When they
know.
bring him before, they bring him before what's his name, who looks
Yeah.
like freaking
Fucking
Henry
Locke.
Guy Rich,
Yeah,
DC Guy Rich. No, just kidding.
he does. He's got big Harvey Dent from the movies vibes with his half burned off face. I'm
Yeah, they
going.
kill
I'm
him.
getting there.
Jog dies.
I
And
know Jog dies,
then-
but
Where is he? I don't. Okay, he's in the background after they
Uh-huh.
find out about Ted Korg.
They
And
just-
then we never see him ever again.
Yeah,
is that true? So he's
in there.
alive.
He
It's
literally
like,
just-
oh, I see him in one of the
vanishes.
panels later behind Osita, so
funny.
he's still around.
right, and then he's
still
just
around.
gone once
I
they're
think
in
that okay,
Gotham.
so he is still alive, but I think what they did is basically they had captured him, but they realized what was going on. They probably said okay, dude, look, you kind of got wrapped up into this whole thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace out before
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
knock you out.
He
yeah.
didn't
Leave
need
while- Yeah,
surgery.
leave while you still can. That's
So maintaining my statement that he doesn't need to be in this story.
no, and you're
But,
right. That's
But they
a
fucking
perfect
hate. But he
example.
had so much. He was tied to their origins with Asita.
Yeah.
He killed her wife. So I'm like, why did we skip over the last confrontation between them? He just
Well,
vanishes.
They got the confrontation before they take him to Locke. 'cause
They do. Yeah.
She almost kills him, and then they
Smashes his
talk her
hand
out
with the
of it.
boomerang in his
Yes.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Well, that's because
perfect,
they
right?
needed him alive. It's
Right.
at this point
Yes.
though,
Yeah.
Mhm.
maybe she killed him off screen.
Yeah, they just step over his body at some point and they're like, how did he die? Don't worry about it. Don't
There's
worry
nothing
about it.
saying I'm wrong.
You're not right. I mean, you're not wrong. You might be right. Who knows? My point is he was unnecessary. Like he didn't need to be there, and we could have had more Vaseline and Chaos Kitten, give us some backstory.
Yeah.
What about you, Mark? So that's what I would change. What would you change?
No pressure.
I know. I took the big obvious one, right?
That was a real good one, like you said. I that's take out parts that like make other characters have more time is definitely important.
Mhm.
You can copy our answer. It's just a team effort.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna agree with that because I like I
Yeah.
said, the things that we criticized it for, I think, like you said, are important points. But outside of that, I mean, I just enjoyed it so
That's
much.
great.
So I'm like,
I know
that
it's
was just
hard.
great. That was just
It's
a
one of
great
those
book.
things, like obviously I feel those things and I think they are true, and at the same time this is one of my favorite books. I really think it's great, and I maintain I just don't, it doesn't feel like the problems are Tom Taylor's fault. Like Boomerang being in it, like you said, TJ, he was in the movie. It feels like an editorial note, like what did Boomerang, like people know Boomerang, so I don't know, I feel like this deserved to be longer, and had it been longer I think it would have solved the problems.
Yeah, I agree. Another issue or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what would you guys rate this? 1 out of 1 to 5 batarangs, and you can break 1 in half if you need to.
Ooh. You know what? Because like again, nothing is perfect in this world. There's a few things here and there. I'll give it a 4.5.
I agree that nothing is perfect, but this is pretty damn near close. So it's getting a 5 from me.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like, look, I have the problems I have. This is still one of the best things I've ever read.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. I gotta give it 5.
Beat me out by a half point.
Yeah.
5 batarangs.
I
It's
just like
so
it a
good.
5, a 0.5 more than you do, Mark. Oh my God.
We just like complaining.
No, but you genuinely like, what is,
I know.
despite it being great, what is wrong? And like, that's like, there's always something.
Yeah.
But this is a 5-star read. Like, let's be honest, there are a lot of extraordinarily problematic Batman stories. This one is really not one of them.
No,
It's great.
no. Yeah, it's a great book. I mean, I was able to see some of the other covers that they had for each issue. Those are just gorgeous.
Ooh,
I mean,
stunning.
So
it's
good.
I think for me, out of any piece of work, whether it be a comic book, a piece of music, a movie, whatever it may be, but whatever those stories inspire other creators, or like the people that are working it themselves to make covers for, whatever it may be, says a lot about what they feel about that project, right? And that speaks volumes. So everything I saw attached to us, I was like, oh, they're just hitting out of the ballpark. I'm all like, damn, it's so cool.
Constantly. There's so many beautiful like moments, like Aerie and Wink kissing in front of a sunset, like them Harley going, what's so great about Australia, and then they turn the corner and there's this beautiful landscape, and she's just like, oh, there's a lot of like actual, for a Suicide House story, which are often very dark, there's a lot of actual beauty and lightness and happiness and love. Like, this is a pretty positive Suicide Squad story.
Yeah.
Because it's a
Lots
revolutionary
of heads getting
book.
blown up, and whatever.
Yeah. Look, did somebody blow up here? Did somebody blow up there? Did somebody get knifed? Is there a boomerang in someone's back? Yes, all true. And yet the story is overwhelmingly about doing good. It's overwhelmingly about making positive change. It's overwhelmingly about fighting systems. I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
much so.
Since we're talking about like some moments that stand out, one Mark sent to us in the group chat of the near the end, where he's like, I want to linger in this. So Sixin is like, feel pride, and it feels like a pride celebration.
I took a picture and I was like, gay.
Yeah. Like if it hadn't won a GLAAD award, I feel like that scene in particular makes it be like, oh, okay, this is for the gays.
Now I need to look up, because I would need to know if
Yeah.
it won a GLAAD award.
Just look at it this way too.
did.
It's like they're a forced found family in that they're brought together, right, for this reason, but they're able to work together, and go on this adventure, and they come out on the other end of it. They're changed individuals. They've lost somebody, and it's very interesting what we've seen go along the way. It's like, again, a Suicide Squad story, very brutal at points.
Yeah.
but it's like there's always a reason behind it, and it does further the story. So
Yeah. For the record, I just looked it up. It's GLAAD nominated. It didn't win, but it was nominated for outstanding comic. Which it should have won. I don't know who it was against.
Yeah, I would love to hear.
Things are good.
Right? Can you imagine it? Like, should he win, Tom Taylor? It would be cool to hear what he has to say when he goes up there, right? What he would speak about. I think that would be really, really awesome to hear. I would love to see that moment.
Yeah, I feel like he's done. I kind of now I'm thinking a little bit about the criticisms we had, and I still think they're valid. And at the same time, Tom Taylor has done so much for the queer community. I almost wonder if I'm putting on so much effort for him to do something for every community now, which I mean, we all should be aspiring to do, but I wonder if we're all holding him to an unrealistic standard to some degree, because he's having to fight for all of these things. I think probably
And
we don't know that
he's doing a great job of it. So
like
it's cool to, like I said. I'll even go as far to say this, that when I say as an ally, it's not even just a queer eye, they're a human ally, and that they look out for people who need a voice who sometimes don't get it.
I agree. We love you, Tom Taylor. We love you.
This book was like, he introduced all these new queer characters, and I think it was so well received that then he went on to do Son of Kal-El almost immediately after. And
he's breaking through glass ceilings.
Right. He got to make an established Superman character bisexual then. And it's like,
we love it.
Who knows if they would have let him do it if he hadn't done this and it been successful.
You're right. We love it. There are definitely things that could be more, and I feel like he would and will do those things eventually. So we'll get there. We love you, Tom.
Yeah. Well, I
had to circle back around because I thld bad. I was like, I'm being too critical of Tom.
No, I think your criticisms were fair.
Chris.
I'm sorry. I love you, Tom. I just believe
leave Tom alone.
Or start crying. Leave Tom alone.
I know.
Yeah, it's that Britney video where they're like, leave Britney alone.
That's what I was going for.
Exactly.
TJ is shirtless right now. All he needs to be doing is crying.
Exactly.
Mark, since this is your first book club episode with us, we have a question we ask all of our guests who come on these episodes. I don't think we've asked you. So I'm going to ask you, if you could tell any story with Batman or the Bat family, what would that story look like to you with no restrictions?
Yeah, the editorial is locked in a closet. They can't stop you. You can do what you want.
Yeah, just themes or characters or relationships you would want to explore. Or even
I think it's funny. I remember, was it a year ago when we had talked about, did we say Batman was Ace? Was that what was like where we left off our last right? I mean,
yes,
something to that effect. I mean, I think if or maybe an adventure with Batman and the ghosts of the long gone Bat family members who come and gone, something
and coming
like
on and
that.
come and gone.
Yeah, coming gone. But but that's just thing. It's like despite whoever gets to come back, there are many ghosts in Batman's past, and it all begins with his parents, obviously.
Yeah.
And it all goes to a certain degree. It just keeps coming up. So
you're writing a Batman Christmas Carol, is what I'm hearing.
Oh.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about, right?
Asexual Batman Christmas Carol. I love it.
Asexual Batman. Yes, exactly. With stockings and big candy canes.
It's just like, so his parents are the ghost of Christmas past. Jason's like the ghost of Christmas present. And then it's like Terry McGinnis is the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Dude, seriously, you just wrote the whole damn thing right there. No, that's it.
He's like, Jason, aren't you alive right now? And he's like, don't think about it.
Don't worry about it. It's like little kid Jason though. It's 12-year-old Jason, even though 19-year-old Jason is alive. There's 12-year-old.
I'm pre-crisis Jason.
Yeah, no, but that's
Jason.
It, right?
He's in the little costume with the little booty shorts,
Red hair.
It doesn't even have to be like a timeline thing. It doesn't even have to make sense in that.
No.
This is just simply it, right? Those ghosts can be not of just people that are gone. They can be of instances of trauma or whatever they may be, which obviously informs Batman's whole life. I mean, it's like,
and
how are you working Batmite into this?
Batmite causes it.
Maybe that could, yes. That could be part of it, or I don't know. Batman is the Batmite is the tether back into like reality. You know, it's
Yeah.
like
What if it's
however it
like,
may be.
have you
You
seen
know?
the Muppet Christmas Carol, you two? Have you both seen this?
No,
What if-
but I've seen bits of it.
Oh, it's so good.
Same
What if
here. I'm so
Batmite
bad.
is
I've never
like,
seen the whole way through.
so Gonzo in it is the narrator? What if Batmite's just like the narrator who's telling the
Mm.
story
Okay.
as it
He's
goes along?
omniscient.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. We got a whole story right
we
here.
do.
I love it.
Um,
We started off
yeah.
at Pride and ended up at Christmas. That works for me.
Yeah, this year
Yes.
flew by.
Wow.
Well, Mark, where can our listeners find you online? And if you want to plug anything, please feel free to.
All right. Well, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at I am El Diablito. On Sunday nights, you can find me on Shooting the Poodoo with the Baraxian crew. Like I said, we're just fun group of people just talking about all kinds of stuff. You know, it starts with Star Wars and it makes its way out from there. So, you know, come and check us out on YouTube. Aside from
Yeah.
that, from time to time, I hang out here with you lovely folks when you invite me on. So
Yay.
I'm always so thankful when you ask me to come on again, because I always have such a fun time. So thank you
Oh.
so much.
Same, anytime. But we've
Yeah.
given up any pretense that we have a rivalry, huh?
Yeah, our rival is
it
not with
started off
Mark.
that way, you know. It's like kind of like we were frenemies, and then we're all like, hey, they're kind of cool. And we just
Our
went from there.
our frenemies to lovers arc, you know.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Well, I'm glad we picked a book that you loved. Next
Yeah.
time
Yes,
we'll have to
thank
pick
you.
something more
I'm gonna
controversial.
come to you guys and be like, hey, look, although I don't know when, if ever, this is gonna happen, because the pile of to read comic books that are staring at me, they've been taunting at me for like a
Fair.
month or so now. When I finally do get free time again, I'll be like, hey, can you recommend another book?
Oh, please. We would love to. TJ has an entire like definitive list of things to read. So
Oh,
All
yes.
right.
I'll hook you up.
yeah.
All right,
Amazing.
well, Mark,
Well,
until next time, thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Gotham Outsiders. You can find me, Chris, at Linktree/The Myth of Psyche, where you can find all of my social media, where I'm on Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, and all the various places. You can also find all of my other projects where I'm writing and the other podcasts I host, including Thirsty on Tune, which I host with my friend Bronwyn, where we talk about independent projects like books and webtoons, and on the Talking Comics podcast, where I am also a host now. And where can they find you, TJ?
You can find me at TroyFin2 on most social media platforms like Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, a lot. You can find me talking a lot about books, gay things, gay books, and I am a librarian in my professional time and for fun sometimes. So please hit me up if you want a good book recommendation or you have one for me.
And where can our listeners find you, Mark?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at I am El Diablito, and also on Sunday evenings with the Broaxium crew. Show is called Shooting the Poodoo. We are on at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST.
And you can find us all on social media at Gotham Outsiders on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. So thank you for listening, and join us next time. Same bat time, same bat place.